Hello, it's Dragon 1400, and this is Why I Love RWBY, Ruby Rose. Now, Ruby Rose is a character I actually really like, and really the reason why I started watching the show. Now, a few weeks ago, I actually talked about more from an objective standpoint of my thoughts on RWBY, but Ruby Rose is one of the reasons I like the show RWBY. And really the reason why I started watching the show is I saw her character design and I was like, oh, this character is going to be very gothic, very depressing or whatever. However, when I bought the video game, which is not a good video game, I do not recommend it, I saw that her character was very cheery, very like optimistic, very joy filled, if you will. And that struck me as a stark contrast between her design, her like look, the look of the character, and what the personality of the character actually was. And that just struck my interest, so I started watching the show. And that's kind of how I got into the show, if you will. And it was really episode 8, which is probably my third favorite episode so far in the series. This is up to volume 5. Really, after episode, or actually chapter 8 of volume 1, that's where the show really hooked me, if you will. However, it was originally Ruby's character design in contrast to her like personality, and I really kind of like that personality of hers, that she's very optimistic, that she really wants to bind everyone together, she's joy filled and everything like that. However, we've also seen her character that she is also can get sad, like she can get angry and stuff like that, but she likes to hide it for like other people, if you will. She keeps everything deep down inside and puts on like a happy smile, if you will. It's just like her personality type, that she's like that. I also like about RWBY is that they don't like make her overpowered. Now, she does have like the silver eyes, but she doesn't know how to control them, and they were stopped by Emerald at the end of volume 5, I would like to note. And they seem to be only effective against Grimm and maybe Maidens, we don't know exactly. That being aside, though, she doesn't have control over these powers, and she's like I said before, she's like one of the weakest, if not the weakest, of her team. I would consider her, if I was going to power scale the characters, that RWBY is the weakest if you exclude her silver eye powers, which you kind of have to, since she has no control over them. They're just something that happens when she gets in this emotional state. She has absolutely no control over her silver eyes. And I like it that like characters like Torchwood back in like the first 3 volumes and other characters have beat her before. So she's not this like overpowered like protagonist character. That being aside, I do like really enjoy her character, and I like that she kind of binds the group together. It's like I said in an earlier video, Jean's more like of the tactical leader. He's the leader when the fight's actually going on. But Ruby's kind of the leader that kind of binds everyone together. She's the glue that holds everything together. And she even offered Raven to kind of join them as well, even though Raven was against them. So she just kind of has that personality that she kind of has a similar personality to, say, like Luffy from One Piece, if you will. Their personalities are kind of similar. Like Luffy's very like optimistic, and he like really wants to protect his friends, and he has this way of binding people together, people fighting for him. RWBY has a very similar traits to Luffy from One Piece. Not completely, however, there's definitely a parallel, definitely a comparison you can make there. That being aside, there are some things I don't like about RWBY. They haven't really dug deep into her character like growth throughout the entire series, of her like kind of dealing with her mom, and how they're kind of setting that up, but they haven't done anything with it yet. I know it will come eventually. However, it's like kind of get moving. The pacing with RWBY's character is extremely slow, which I don't mind personally for the most part. However, I wish they would make some strides towards increasing the pacing just a little bit, little hints here and there, if you will. They do a little bit of that, but I wish they would do that more. That being said, I also like the fact that, given her character design, she has a scythe, And like I said, it's completely contrast to her personality, whereas the Scythe actually makes perfect sense for Crow's personality and kind of his semblance as well, that he's bad luck and stuff like that. But Ruby's, like, her having a Scythe and her character design does not line up with her personality at all, and I like that contrast between the two. It's really like refreshing. Even her semblance is contrast to her character design for the most part. I mean, they still have that red in there, but it's like rose petals. It's like, I think they did a really good job in Ruby's character design in contrast to her personality, and that really surprised me. That is the reason why I started watching the show. It wasn't the only reason, but it was like the tipping point that really, the reason why I started watching the show, and it's one of the reasons why I love RWBY. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.